Hello YouTubes. My last couple of DCC decoder installs have been a little bit complex. Wouldn't it be nice to find something that was simple? Like this, for example. So this is a Hornby Class 29, often referred to as Old Sad Eyes. I wonder if you can tell why. And this was a very generous gift from Brian at the Angels Modelling and Railroad. He gave me this when I visited him in Scotland late last year. Isn't it nice? Why do I think this is going to be simple? Well, for a start, there's no lights. Now, I do think the real version of the lights were positioned down there and there. Correct me if I'm wrong. And there's not even a spot, and I don't want to be drilling holes in this, so I don't have to worry about lights. And then when we get inside, by the way, there's 4 clips, 2 there and 2 on the other side, but I've already kind of got half of it off just to save embarrassment. Oh, I'm still struggling. Oh, I can't win. And the other thing that makes it easy is, do you see this? Single wire. You get one wire coming from the front, picking up power from this side of the rails, so it's picking up power from over here, and the other side is picking up power from this side of the rails through the body of the motor itself. So we really just have this one wire that we can undo, this wire here that we can undo when we get to it, and all we have to do is intercept these wires. So I've got 2 wires. 2 wires go to the decoder and 2 wires go to the motor. That's it. As you can see, I've already added some weight to this because it was incredibly light. I don't want to add any more. In fact, I might even take some off because it's that's a lot of effort to push around with this little Ringfield motor. Okay, let me grab some tools and we'll get started. Now, because we've got tons of room inside here, obviously, I'm finally going to get to use one of my little circuit boards I got from AliExpress. I think they were like $2 or $3, and that can sit right there, won't interfere with anything. And then once that's installed, all 2 wires of it, well, 4 wires, then we can install one of these little generic decoders. It's only going to do motion forward, back, and speed adjusting, and that plugs into that little socket there. I'm sure you've seen these before. If not, I've got plenty of videos explaining what that's all about. So this board here basically just sucks in the power from the rails and then sends it out through the decoder, and then from the decoder it goes to the motor. Pretty basic stuff. So let's get started with the motor. So we're not touching this side. All we're concerned about is these 2 power pickups here. As I mentioned, we've got this plug here coming from the other side of the rails. We can take that off. And I think I'm going to be really sneaky and reuse these plugs. If I cut this plug here, just about in half, and I cut the end off of this, in fact, let's do it right now. I am that confident this will work. Let's cut that there. Leave enough room to strip some wire back. Make sure that falls on the floor. And the other one, we'll do the same. We will, let's see, we're going to be putting the decoder along here. We'll just cut it in half for now. I'll be back in a second when I find the other side of that. Ugh. Okay, I rescued my little clip. So we've got our 2 clips. One of them is going on there, one of them's going on there. However, before I do that, do you see that little capacitor in there? We need to remove that, unfortunately. How do we get this out then? I think we push that one that way, whole thing pops down. Now, I think you can just bend these up. I just don't want to lose the tension of the spring underneath. So bend that one up, bend that one up. Make sure you don't lose your springs and your little brushes inside. It made your little loosey spring. You know what, let's keep the springs out of here for now while we're messing about. Because I want to remove that capacitor, which is just kind of folded around those tabs. So So let's get rid of that. Because we're converting to DCC, we really don't need this thing. Everything else will be taken care of. All the power is going to be taken care of in that little circuit board and the decoder itself. I can't get it out. God, I don't want to have to speed up this bit of film. Come on, just get off. Making me look silly. Okay. You know, if he's well in there. I don't even know what that's for. Leave a comment. What's that for? It's probably really important and I'm just disregarding it. Discarding it. Whatever. I'm getting rid of it. Put our springs back in. Oh, what a mess I'm making of this. Hold on. You go in there. And he's gone. Oh, and I've bent the spring. See, nothing ever goes to plan. This is supposed to be simple. Why are springs so, you know, springy? Right, get in there and behave. Goodness sake. It's like they've got a life of their own. Right, so hopefully we can just push this back down. And the spring's gone again. This is ridiculous. I hope the other one's not misbehaving like this. Oh, for goodness sake. Yeah, very funny. I know you're all laughing your heads off, but I'm almost tempted to start this video again. This is ridiculous. Okay. Hopefully the other one won't be such a pain in the derriere. Spring in there. Push that back down. Goodness, that was way more complicated than it should have been. And that was the easy part. Okay. We can put this back in now. We're done with that. Okay, let us get this installed. And by installing it, I mean sticking it on top of the weight with a bit of double-sided tape. This wire here is going to go to... This logo's a bit tricky, I think. I think that is forward with the logo nearer the front. But it could be nearer the back, I have no idea. Motor at the front. It doesn't really matter, this logo can go either way. So let's just go with this wire being the left track and this wire here the right track. And then when we have those soldered on, we then send the power from M1 and M2 to those two clips. We good? Right, let's go on with that. Hopefully my double-sided tape will actually stick this time. It's been the unstickiest tape I've ever had. Get you down there. Are you going to stick? Oh, I think it is actually going to stick for a change. Yep, and that can go there. Make sure it's not interfering with that. So we can stick that down just now. I think because the motor connections are going to go out that way to there, we'll have it around this way, okay? The second trickiest part of the operation, removing the tape from the top of the sticky stuff. I'm still getting cat hairs from Maxarus's repair jobs. Cat hairs. Okay, I've got this off finally. Stick you down there. That's fine. Okay, so we need to run a wire from this little clip, which is the rail pickup, over to, let's go this one here, right? Let's find a little bit of black wire. It's a wee bit thick. Always try and match the wire to what I'm joining it to. That's exactly the same. Just empty this out. Aha! There we go. There's a nice little bit of wire. That will do nicely. So this one is going to join on from there over to there. Okay? Obviously you need to strip that one back a little bit. Get a bit of heat shrink on the ready. Oh, at the ready. Let's shove you down there for now so we don't forget. Actually no, it's too long for that. I'll put it on this bit. Once I tin it. Right, both sides tinned. Tin that a little bit. Oh, maybe a bit of flux on there. Goodness, too much. Get my heat shrink on there. Join this one on. Heat shrink over the join. Shrinky shrink. Lovely. Now we can join this pickup from the rails to lift track. This one here. Didn't hold it long enough. Okay, so that's the left track pickup. Now we need the right track pickup. This one here. So that's our left track pickup, right track pickup. Now we need to run a couple of wires to those little connectors. This one here and this one here. So I'm going to, I don't even have to extend this one. That's ideal. Just snip this one down, strip it down even. Put him on M1, which I believe stands for motor 1. And if the local runs in reverse, it's because I've got these wires around the wrong way, but I don't really care, because partly because this loco can go in either direction and look fine, and also I can change that setting in the DCC controller settings. So I'm going to plug that back in. I've got one wire left, and it's going to be M2 to that other connection. So what colour is that going to be? Let's go with something different. Let's go, I don't know, grey. Let's go grey. So this has to go from there over to there. So it has to be roughly that long. Always best to leave yourself a wee bit of extra in case you make a mistake. Like I would never do that. So we can join that one on there. Still to put the plug on. Don't panic. I know what I'm doing. Well, I think I know what I'm doing. Strip that back. That flux. Bit of tinning. My little plug with the wire. Strip him back. And we want to join those two together. Let's use my little crocodile clip. What did I almost forget? I almost forgot my heat shrink tubing. Now I can't find it. You know what, the amount of times I've taken one of these out, cut a wee tiny bit off and lost the other part. Don't know where they disappear to. Get him on first. Get this soldered together. And finally, heat shrink on. You're wondering what that noise is? It's my 3D printer, busy printing something very cool for my layout. So that's that connection on. I can put him back in his little plug over there. Which way do you want to go? This way. Oh, I know what I've done. I've bent that in a wee bit. I can't get in the back of it. Thought I'd maybe get the wrong plug for a second. There he goes. That's pretty much it. We've got front right coming in, rear left coming in to the board, and then it'll go into the decoder when I plug it in. Red and orange go to 1 and 8. The board's numbered there. Plug him in. Magic happens in the decoder, sends it back down through these wires here, brown and the grey, into the motor. And we're done. Where are we going to put this? Where it's not going to cause trouble. I specifically chose a nice short one so it can't go very far. That'll be fine there, won't it? Okay, let us get our shell back on, and then we can get to the track and see if it actually worked. Of course it worked, or will work, hopefully. I mean, definitely. down to the track. Now, remember, this is just a Ringfield motor. It's not one of the new 5-pole motors. Not expecting super smooth gorgeousness. As long as it works, that's the main thing. So, as usual, all new decoders or any decoders you take out of a train, make sure you reset them back to back to 3 first. Address number 3, like this one is. Give it some power and hopefully it will go. It's making a noise. Oh, there we go. Try the change of direction thing. Got some CV settings to change. Speed that up a bit. Come on, I pressed that ages ago. Can't move on. Oh goodness, yeah, definitely needs a little bit of setting changing. Anyway, we will get it round for its victory lap. Make sure it works all the way around. If it ever changes direction and goes forward, come on. I really wish I could put lights in these, but I don't want to drill holes in it. It's not too bad for a Ringfield, is it? Flat spot on a wheel somewhere. I did clean them. Maybe it's one of the traction tires that's got a flat tire. That's about as crawly as it's going to get. Yeah, it gets a wee bit jerky at that speed. Pretty smooth at that speed. Hey, it works. Well, apart from the brush and spring incident, that was a pretty easy install. Only 2 wires really. 2 coming from the tracks and then 2 coming from the decoder to the motor. In fact, so much so, I'm very tempted to throw one in this and also the green version of this, because eventually this whole track's going to be DCC, although not this track. This is a pre-recording. I'm currently ripping this track up and starting over. And hopefully the first video in that series will be out tomorrow. It will be a complete disaster. Well, it will look like a disaster. It should get better. Anyway, thank you very much to my Patreon members, YouTube members, gift givers, and of course my lovely subscribers like you. Take care everyone. See you soon.